मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्.
Where else in the whole world can you find such a literature? Jnanam, Jneyam, Jnanagamyam, Hridi, Sarvasya, Vishthitam. It is deposited. It is clearly encased within the human body, in the core of the heart, in the core of our brain. Very safely kept there. That is why we are not able to extract it. If it were an outward treasure, anybody would have gone there. Our satellite photographs would have disclosed it. Because it is inside the body, we are not able to penetrate. Only by a course of knowledge, process of knowledge, pursuit of knowledge. What is the pursuit of knowledge? It is intense and astute application of the intelligence. The intelligence is the most superb faculty in a human. Senses are a faculty. Tongue is a faculty. Mind is also one. But of all these you will find the intelligence is the most deep, the deepest and the most profoundly potent factor. When you apply the intelligence, you are in a knowledge pilgrimage. That is what ASHTAVAKRA is doing before Janaka. And mind you, Janaka was no small person. He was a great and illustrious emperor, a king. Yadi deham prithakritya chidi vishramyatishtasi adhunaiva sukhishamto bandhamukto bhavishyasi. The matter can be closed there. But because it's a knowing process, merely about 20 or 30 minutes of talk will not be adequate. So the subject is discussed there. Janaka, understand. You feel that you are a Kshatriya. You feel that you are a king. You feel that you are a ruler. All these are there. Understand. On the basis of the spiritual truth I have disclosed to you, the fact that you are a witness of everything, natvam vipradigo varno, nashrami nakshagojaraha, asangosi nirakaro, vishwasakshi sukhi bhava. These are the dimensions of your own inner consciousness, of your own mind, your own intelligence, your own ego. They are all functional units of the same principle called consciousness. Natvam vipradigo varno. You are not belonging to any varna like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Natvam vipradigo varno na ashrami. You are not an ashrami, either a brahmachari or a grihastha or a vanaprastha or a sannyasa. This ashrama is not belonging to you. They are all different styles and stages of life. They have nothing to do. Only in the bodily level, in the mental level, these are applicable. But you are beyond all these, You are the transcendental spirit. You are the unborn soul. You are the undying self. You are the untransforming consciousness. Therefore, natvam vipradigo varno, nashrami nakshagojaraha. Are you with me? Nakshagojaraha. You look at a person and then say he is a celibate, a brahmachari, or a householder, or an anchorite, or an ascetic. But you are looking at the body. See, you say Swamiji, looking at my dress and my body. And this body is akshagojaraha. It is actually an object for the eyes to see. But you are not the body. If you are not the body, can you be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra? Can you be a celibate, a householder, an ascetic, or an anchorite? It is not possible. You are not the object body. By identifying which you are saying one varna and one ashrama, it is not so. Nakshagojaraha. Then what are you? Asangosi. Asangosi. You are the unconditioned, the unattached, the unglued. Can you tell me, my dear souls, I am asking a very simple question. 56 years I have been talking on this subject. You can imagine the extent of research I am doing day in and day out. My only mission and watchword has been how to make it understandable, intelligible to the people. So I am presenting various propositions. You tell me very clearly. Our body can be glued to some other object. I agree. Can our mind be glued to anything? You are interacting with the world, interacting with house members at home, professional colleagues in the job front, and you are interacting with members of the society. In all these interactions, I am asking you a question. Does any external object come and enter your mind to remain there for a time? Any external object. I see this object. I see it there and leave it there, and I get an impression of this object. That impression is what I am seeing. Let it be there. In the process, does this enter into my system and remain there in the mind? So is there any question of the mind getting attached to an object? Then why are you saying attachment? What is attached to what? If it is the dress, every day we put on and we remove it also. If it is damaged, we say goodbye to it. Our own daughter, we get her married and send her to the husband's house. So what is it that you are going to be attached? The house, when the prices go up, you sell, go away. Now what is it that you are getting attached? In the mind level, is the mind such a substance that it can be glued to anything? The water running in your house taps, is the water attached to your tap? The air that enters your lungs, is it attached to the lungs? Then what about the mind which is supra-material and supra-energial? Can it ever be attached or glued to anything? So what is the description? What is the description? What is the description of this mind? Asangosi. It is unattached, unlinked, unglued, unassociated, uncoupled, unlinked. Say that. Instead of saying, I am attached, say, I am not attached. I am detached. I am an embodiment of detachment. I can never have an attachment. Nothing gets attached to me, nor do I get attached to anything. I am asangosi, nirakaraha. You don't have any kind of a shape or a form. These belong to the body. Vishwasakshi. What? Say that. All of you. You are the witness of the whole universe, not of your family and 2 children. They are also witnessed by you, nothing else. In the same manner, you are the witness of the whole universe. So within the small limited body, what is the dimension that you are hosting? A universal dimension. Vishwasakshi. Understanding this universal dimension, my dear Janaga, Sukhi Bhava. Sukhi Bhava. Sukhi Bhava. Become comfortable. Become happy. Become hilarious, jovial, ecstatic. Everything goes away. You don't have to gain anything. You will never lose anything. You have to go nowhere. You have come from nowhere. You are, I am. You are, I am. This amness is unconditioned. It is unaffected. It is unswelling. It is unshrinking. It ever remains in its own crowning glory. It is transparence embodied. It is brilliance personified. It is immortality incarnate. ठीक है? Why don't you smile? Hey, what is there? I have taken away all tensions from your mind. All constrictions let loose. See, everything gone. Is it really so? Do you like by ASHTAVAKRA? The 8-bended person. Natvam vipradigo varno na ashrami na akshagojaraha asangosi niragaro vishwasakshi sukhi bhava. So please write a name for your house. You are residing in the house, but you are a vishwasakshi, witness of the whole universe. So far you thought, I am a father, I am a mother, I am a son, I am a daughter, I am a husband, I am a wife, I am a brother, I am a sister. Please replace all these statements. Say, I am a Vishwasakshi, universal witness, universal witness. And thereby implant in you the universal dimension. How do you feel? Your mind has become lighter? Are you feeling a sense of liberation? Are you feeling a touch of self and realization? How many people? Lift your hands, let me see. Very good, very good. You know, we are most happy when we see this. Here is a book called Brahma Vidya Abhyasa, Sure Way to the Inner Self. This is the first book I wrote. It first of all tells you about the theory of spirituality or philosophy. How does it come about? How does it start? After explaining the theory, the sadhana or the actual experiential pursuit is discussed. In that discussion you will find everything from beginning to end. How a sadhaka begins his pursuit and how the pursuit grows, what are the obstacles if at all to be met and overcome, and ultimately when everything is overcome and the mind becomes full and complete, how does he feel? It's after all a sadhana meant for a sadhaka, and he can pursue it for a siddhi, and when he is attaining fruition, he is called a siddha. All these elements are discussed here. People who are reading this book, they are very much enlightened and enriched, and many of them were asking us to present it in other languages also. We don't have any distribution system or anything, except where we go, we conduct lectures, these books are distributed, that's all. In spite of it, I think, quite a number of editions have been. Here I am reading 6th edition in 2007. I cannot understand how it could get about 6th edition. Because I am not going to many places. I used to speak earlier from different platforms, 500, 600 Jnana I have conducted. So this is an important book. There is a message written here. I will recite it. It is written there. Keep company with me and repeat what I am saying. Tada muktir yada chittam. Tada muktihi yada chittam. Na vanchati na shojati. Na vanchati na shojati. Tada muktir yada chittam. Na vanchati na shojati. My dear souls, this is actually a course of understanding. This is called Jnana Sadhana. What? Jnana itself becoming the sadhana. In this sadhana, the intelligence, the deepest and the highest faculty in the human personality is constantly employed. That is what does the sadhana. In a puja or a worship, you will have external materials like flowers and other items. You collect them with the fingertips, chant a few mantras and place them at the altar. Now it is a kind of a physical and oral exercise. Here, we are using the ears to listen to what is said. And the rest of the work is done by only intelligence. The intelligence is given to its quest. It's always seeking knowledge, knowledge and knowledge. Greater knowledge, still greater, still greater. Ultimately, the ultimate knowledge it is seeking. Now, the ultimate knowledge can be sought and can be achieved only by a process of knowingness itself employed for the purpose. Whenever the intelligence comes, there is always the knowledge and the knowing process. So this is a sadhana taking place in such an intelligence level, the deepest and the loftiest level in your personality. Am I clear? Now you are all wondering, what is this self-realization? How to achieve it? In one small sentence it is clearly mentioned here. Tada muktihi. Then is going to result mukti. Mukti is a fruition. It is a fulfillment. It is a crowning outcome taking place in your own mind. Mind means what? Not a part of the body, but that consciousness which functions as a functional unit called the mind. Again another unit called the intelligence. Another unit called the ego. All these are not different substances or different material. Actually, it is not a material. When the mentation is done, the function called mentation is done, we give it a name, mind. When the same consciousness does the function of intellection or intelligencing, it is called the intellect and the intelligence. When it goes on asserting and coordinating all the functions, it is called the ego. These are not three different entities at all. At all. They are only three functional units, like the legs being employed for walking, for standing, for sitting, for running, and for lying. All these functions are done by only a pair of legs. So the legs are the substance here. All the rest are functions. In the same manner, apart from the Panchabhautik body that we have, there is only one presence that is there in our body, which animates and activates the body. And that presence is what you are searching for. You cannot say it is not there. You have to identify it. So we are explaining the proposition from various angles and at different levels. Now here, what was the question of Janaka? Katham jnanamavapnoti, katham muktir bhavishyati. How can jnana be attained? And when will mukti result? So he says, tada muktihi. Mukti is going to result as a fruition, as an outcome, right then. When? Yada, when, chittam, the mind, na vanchati, na shojati. When the mind ceases to desire, stops desiring, na shojati, it also stops getting afflicted, it stops grieving. So when the mind stops grieving and also stops desiring, when these two are completely coming to a stop, at that point of time is liberation. Am I clear or not? Tell me whether it is within your reach or beyond reach. Do you have the mind? You have. And cannot the mind, just like the mind is given and trained to desiring, the mind can also be trained not to desire. Because desire is unnecessary, it is redundant. By desiring we achieve nothing, but by right effort everything is had. In order to make the right effort, you don't have to desire at all. Keep a vessel full of water on a stove, light it. Do you have to say, my dear water, you have to boil? If the flame is kept up, automatically the water will boil. And when it boils, you have to be attentive to see that it doesn't spill and properly covered and cover removed and the like. So every effort is followed by its own outcome. In fact, an outcome is actually giving expression to an effort, and the effort is designed to bring about a certain outcome. So there is a lot of intelligencing involved here. So the mind can be equally trained. the proposition that I like to set before you is that the same mind which is given to desiring by virtue of a chronic hereditary habit, the same mind can be trained not to desire also. Agreed? You only know desiring, but you have to train the mind not to desire at all. Without any desire, we shall start working on needs, compulsions, needs, ideals, values, persuasions. Whenever there is a need, you try to fulfill it. Eating or having our meal is a need. Breathing is a need. Sleeping is a need. Digestion is a need. Health is a need. All these are needs in our life, and you are free to fulfill them in any hearty manner, judicious manner that you can. So it is a question of being enlightened in the matter of dealing with the mind and employing the mind. So when the mind recedes from the notorious and tormenting habit of desiring and also grieving unnecessarily, that is the time you realize moksha. Am I clear? Similarly, the mind has to be taught for many things in this world. Now, ASHTAVAKRA clearly said, what did he say? You are not the Panchabhutas. You are the witness of all these. This is what was said. You are the witness of all these. Esham sakshina mahatmanam chidrupam vidhi muktaye. Understand that there is a witness in you of all the things that are taking place around you, including the fivefold existence Panchabhutas, the Panchabhautik body, whatever is there within the body in the way of mind, intelligence, ego, etc., all these are witnessed by something. That witnessing is a quality which consciousness alone has. That is called Chidrupa. And you are the Chidrupa, and you realize that it is so. In this realization is the fulfillment of what you call knowledge. This is what was said. You know, ASHTAVAKRA, apparently you will say it is a very secular text, but it is not secular. It is also orthodox. Sri Krishna has already introduced this subject. Where did he introduce? In the 13th chapter. From the 13th chapter onwards in Bhagavad-gita you will find it is all enumeration and enumeration. The whole mathematics of philosophy, mathematics of spirituality, the arithmetics of self-realization, everything is presented there in terms of enumeration. So he says, Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidhiyate etadyo vetyatam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. He presents before you two concepts. One is called the kshetra. Another is called the kshetrajna, the knower of kshetra. This body itself is the kshetra, he says. And there is somebody who knows that there is a body. Do you agree or disagree? That I have a body, somebody other than the body feels, knows, experiences, realizes that I have a body. So there are two factors here. One is the body, the object body, the matter energy aggregate called the body. This he calls the kshetra. And etad yo veti, whoever knows about the body or that there is a body, he is the kshetrajna. And who is the kshetrajna? Kshetrajnam chabhimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In all the bodies, I, representing the supreme reality called God or Parabrahman, I am the kshetrajna. You understand now in terms of Bhagavad-gita how the kshetrajna, the knowledge of the self, knowledge of the kshetrajna will make you understand that the same presence that is in your body is the presence everywhere in the creation. Sarva kshetreshu, in all the bodies, in all the forms of existence, I am the kshetrajna present there. Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yetajnanam matam mama. Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yettajnanam matam mama. I think most of you or all of you are devotees and you are after God. And every one of you will be happy if you are able to see God, realize God and experience Him. But the trouble is, you don't know what is God and what is meant by God realization. Krishna makes it easy. Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam. If a person is able to gain kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam, just like you know that I have a body, you must also know what I am who knows this body. So when both the knowledge is equally present in you, you become a knower of God. Am I clear or not? Have you thought about it in this manner? What is meant by God knowledge? It is the knowledge of the kshetrajna in your body. Just like you have a knowledge of the body that I have a body, you must also know who knows the body. Who knows the body. So the knower in the body, along with the body, when properly known, it becomes God knowledge. So you tell me now, is God knowledge far away from you or it is closest to you? I am quoting Gita, mind you. Our scriptures are wonderful, wonderful, unparalleled, matchless. Provided we are able to approach it and understand it properly. Now in the kshetra he includes everything. Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha indriyani dashaigam cha panchachendriya gocharaha ichchadvesha sukham dukkham sanghadaschetana dhrutihi edakshetram samasena sabhikaramudahridam. In the kshetra, first he said this body is the kshetra. In the body we have 5 senses. And it is with the 5 senses that we know the entire creation. Am I clear or not? Am I clear? Is there any world around you who tells you that there is a world? Your senses. The senses are coloring the world objects. Whether the world objects are actually in the manner in which our senses color and shape, nobody knows. I am seeing something like this. My eyes say it is this. Other than the eye, is there any verdict for me to say it has this shape and this color? So the world itself is an existence. It is an expression deciphered by, comprehended by, detected and diagnosed by the senses. So when we say this is kshetra, whatever this body and the senses perceive, they are also included in the kshetra. And in that, what all things will happen? Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha. Everything. Panchabhutas are included. Ahankara is included. Intelligence is included. The unmanifest state where all the 3 gunas were in a state of balance, that is included. And the 5 knowledge indriyas, jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, they are also included. And Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandhas are included. Ichcha, Dvesha, desire and hatred, Sukham, Dukkham, experiences in the mind, Sankhataha, this body, Chetana, the normal consciousness which manifests as wakefulness, sleep and dream. Is it okay?